Hello everyone, welcome to Powerline. I'm your host Sky Knight, and today I got a deck profile for you. This one is probably one of the forgotten builds of Neo Nectar, and it is Maiden of. So let's get down to it. I'm running two starters, only because my grade 3, when I ride her, has an on ride ability. So if the game goes the way that I think it's gonna go, most of the time I'm always gonna choose a starter, which is Maiden of Carantis. She's pretty cool because as long as I have a face-up card in my G-Zone or my Vanguards in Legion, um, at the end of the battle that this unit boosts a unit, it can retire this unit and stand the unit that's in the same column as it. So gives me multi-attack. So the build is Maiden of, and Maiden of is a lot different than the Asha build in the fact that it gets multi-attacks, which is interesting when you sit down and think about it between the different builds of Neo Nectar. I didn't think they'd be able to create something different than Asha, but they did. I mean, you got Musketeers, you got Maiden of, Maiden of, Asha, Musketeers, and the Outburst Dragon, which I don't know what it talks about. So going on top down as always. I'm running 4 and 4. So I remember I did a deck profile of this a while back. Maiden of got some slight support as well, so I just want to show an update of the deck. So 4 and 4, there was a on stride or heartbreak, if you will, Vanguard for the deck, but it really wasn't as strong as I think these two are. This one gives me an on ride ability, and it also has a Legion. This one, if I end up writing it first, because I don't have this card, if I manage to get a second copy of her in my hand, I can go for the multi-attacks if this card hits. So, Rambling Rose and Trailing Rose, I think, are still the better of the two, and they're pretty. My grade 2 lineups. I'm running 3 Flower Screens, 3 Damask Rose, and 4 Glowshine. So Glowshine is the actual one of the new additions to the deck. It's still a little bit weird because you have to rest something when it is placed on the field. But the fact that it gives 3k to all your other Glowshines, and then it ends up getting, all those end up getting power equal to the number of grade 4s that are in your G-Zone and on your Vanguard. So this card can reach ridiculous numbers, and paired with the Flower Screen to make her a copy of this, it just helps out. And Damascus is perfect in the early game because if it's on Vanguard, I can tag my opponent. They're most likely not going to block, and I can go get a free grade 3 for my deck. Oh, and Flower Screen's pretty cool too because I can make it a copy of any card on the field. So, you know, Neo Nectar loves having the same name at all times on creatures. Running 4 of the Unflipping Perfect Guards, 3 of Maiden Arcanas, Water Pots of 3, and 4 Maiden of Ramblers. So, Maiden Arcana is actually my secret tech in the deck, because the deck likes to do multi-attacks. So, if we're going to do multi-attacks, why not just increase the power? So, I pay 1, counterblast, throw it into soul, and I choose up to 4 units, 4 or 5 units, 4 units. With the same name, and they all get plus 5,000 power. So that's perfect. Maiden Rambler helps me keep my draw and my gauge. Excuse me, wrong game. My counterblast up, so I don't have to worry about it. And I think Maiden Rambler is probably one of the best stride enablers because it's free depending on how you stride. So it gets grade +1 when you use it as a stride, and then when you use it as a stride, it comes back to the field, and then you draw a card. So if I end up striding 2 of these Maiden the Ramblers, they go to the drop zone, I stride, then they come back in the rear guard, and I draw 2 cards. And I would do it. I would absolutely do it. Actually, I never pair this with anything else. I make sure I can just stride them both. I think it's actually a perfect stride enabler. Tell me it comes to the field and I draw a card. Yeah. My trigger lineup is actually different. Or probably the same, actually. I'm running 8 stands. 4 of them being Maiden of Daybreak, because when you place Maiden Daybreak on the battlefield, choose 2 of my units with the same name and they both get plus 5k. And they go back into the deck. So I'm recycling stand triggers at that point. This one goes into the soul and gives plus 3k to a unit. So I would rather use Maiden of just for consistency, but she has an ability which I can appreciate. I'm running 4 Maiden as Zephyrantheus. Again, goes into the soul, give a unit plus 3k. And then 4 of the heal trigger Maiden elves, because she's pretty. So, in terms of that final push, these 3 cards are like super amazing, because if I know that I have to beat my opponent through numbers, these cards will help. There's a video that I have that I needed to just push against my opponent, and I just dumped Maiden at Daybreaks out of my hand, targeting 2 units, and the numbers just started to rise. And they ended up couldn't guard it, so, which was great. I don't think we had G guards back then either. G zone. The G zone I'm still working on. Still working on. 2 Rain Breath Dragons, because they interact with water pots. Dimsel and Screw, because reasons. Again, super dry, and haven't really been working on this deck. I'll figure something out. Work in progress, maybe if it's an updated build. Strides. 3 of Yggdrasil. 4 of Lily. And 4 Ashes. So, what I have done with this deck, I wouldn't say what I've done, but what I plan on doing is catching my opponent by surprise. And in that, it's more of, when you play Maiden of, no one really knows what to expect. Because they'll know this card, because, it's Asha. But these 2 cards, Secret Super Attack. Secret Super Attack. So this card, Super Secret Attack, allows me to superior call a card of top 5 if I have another card with the same name on field. So that's pretty cool. This card allows me to call a whole new field out, which gives me 2 more extra attacks, which is great. This card's dumb cheap. It's so sad. Yeah. And Asha is just Asha, really. And guys, that really is the whole deck. Again, working on it. It's going to get better. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.